His name is Paul Goercke. He was a good little guy. He was our chaplain for the post for many years.
He was very active in the post, and so he lived quite a life, and we were sorry to see him pass when he did.
I'm the commander of the American Legion Alexander Hamilton, Post 448. I joined because it is predominantly a gay post. I had a choice of posts I could have gone to.
It was the first post where gay and lesbian war veterans were recognized.
I guess I joined them something about 20 years ago, and recently they named me Officer Emeritus. American Legion was formed after World War I.
Well, I think its mission, to begin with, was socialization be among veterans.
My younger brother was a Vietnam veteran, and my father was World War II. I just felt at ease. I felt really good among the veterans.
Alexander Hamilton is the first treasurer of the United States. Although he also married and had children, we may consider him to be bisexual. That's why we named ourselves after Alexander Hamilton.
Post is important in helping veterans transition from the military back into civilian life by meeting other veterans, especially the older ones who've already passed through. You need to see that. There needs to be tangible evidence of what you can become later in life.
They should know what we went through for that. And I think knowing history is a way of knowing your future.
Our mission was to help gay American veterans, of course, and also to draw attention to the way in which the American Legion treats gay veterans.
We had to sue twice to get in here, to sue the American Legion to accept our post, and then to have a room in this building.
The courts decided that we had every right to be in the building. It was built specifically for veterans. That's why it was named the Veteran Building.
I came out of the closet while I was in the military. There were people who were caught. I was not caught, and I wouldn't try to be caught.
I was an absolute closet case. And so if I did come out, I came out when I was probably 24 or 25, long after I was out of the service.
I wasn't publicly identified as gay. Of course, people would know, picking up here and there.
Oftentimes, if there was any hint that you were gay, you would be called in front of the commanding officer, and the commanding officer would say, "Are you gay?" And if you said no, you were then lying, and they would drum you out of the military for lying. Not necessarily for being gay, but for lying. So if you don't ask, you don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell was institutionalized discrimination of our service members.
It left open various ways that it could be abused. For instance, somebody outing somebody else, and just the military would take advantage of that and discharge them.
There are a lot of opportunities that a person can get by being in the military. They can learn a skill for the lifetime of themselves. They can get paid. They can buy a house. They have health care. These are tremendous benefits that you get as a military veteran. If you're discharged dishonorably, those are all taken away.
And of course, the words homosexuality on your discharge, it was tacky, to say the least.
In the Don't Ask, Don't Tell days, we sent regularly members to Washington, D.C.
We raised funds, we held events, and we spoke out.
We cooperate extensively in the community.
We're the most active in the city that I know of. We have our members meeting every third Thursday of each month. We also do beer busts to raise money, which we then donate to other veterans. In October, we're planning to spend a whole afternoon at the VA hospital with shopping bags full of candies, books, reading material, and so forth.
We go to the psychiatric ward where they're suffering from PTSD, and we try to let them know that we're here. We tell them we're going to do this on an annual basis.
The first several years of my being a member, I would carry the banner, so I was always in the front. But now in the last year, I do ride the float.
One of the things I always remember when we'd recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, we'd get to the end, and justice for all, and Paul would say, always say, almost. He was a native San Franciscan. He and his lover lived up on the hill in Brisbane, and a couple of years they voted him as mayor. I believe he played the organ for Grace Cathedral for years.
He was one of our active members. He was always at the meetings. He was one of us. Only in the last few years when he became infirm and so forth. Otherwise, he was a very active, very interesting, educated, bright person.
He lived a full life, you know, in politics, and he had a sense of humor to the last day. He had a tremendous war experience that started coming back towards the end, PTSD from the war, and we were there for him to help him through that.
He'd just say, you know, we've come this far, but we still gotta, you know, there's still ways we've got to go.
This post is very interesting. We have our meetings, and sometimes we'll break into gay speak, which you wouldn't do somewhere else. So there's this feeling of camaraderie and of friendship and of safety here.
We've had many of our good friends, and, you know, we've had some that have passed on, but we had many good memories.
There's a wonderful camaraderie there among us, which is very nice. This, I think, they're my family. Yeah, they pretty much are.